Good afternoon. Welcome to Through the Static. This is your host, Stephen the Medium, and I'm so excited to be here. And I am with this incredible co-host.
Your incredible co-host who is, not feeling quite 100%, but it's here nevertheless and looking damn good nevertheless. Coach Helix is here.
Coach
Helix. I was going to say Stephen the Medium.
Well, you can take that, but as Paul J. Martin, my best friend, would say, you are in failing health. Everything is exaggerated with him. So that's the term. If you have a sniffle, you're in failing health.
Yes.
Right? Well, welcome everybody. Welcome, and I'm sorry, Elix, you're feeling not 100%, but I know that you're going to be 100% soon. Knock on wood, the two of us were extremely lucky the entire winter season because neither one of us ever got sick.
Yes, and I'm just feeling like the start of something. I'm fighting it like no tomorrow to make sure that it begins and ends right here.
I love that.
Yes.
Part of it, as I mentioned, could also be allergies because this is the time that the pollen and everything else is like really, really high. So it could be, but we're here.
The last time I thought I had allergies, I nearly over-medicated myself. So I'm taking it a little slightly easier than last time.
Well, that's good. I think you should, but you're taking care of yourself. I'm taking care of you.
You're taking care of me.
Exactly.
Yes.
I just ran upstairs because I've got homemade chicken soup on the stove, simmering as we speak.
If people believe that, then I got something to sell you people. So
yeah, the only way that would be happening is if it's like a can of Progresso or Campbell soup. That's the only way. Unless I probably would go out like I've done before and just went to a nice place that has really good chicken soup, right? I mean,
yes,
that's what it's all about. But I'm really excited to get to do Through the Static because I haven't done it last month. I was just so generous to give my spot the last Friday of the month to you because we had just missed couple of weeks that month with your show. So, but I'm here. You're here, and I'm really excited in spirits here. So, besides not feeling 100% Elix, anything going
on? I don't think so. I mean, we had a great live the other day, and we're excited that we're gonna do that more frequently through our YouTube channel. But no, I don't think so, Stephen.
You're good?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I thought you said we had a great life. And I'm like, is it over?
No,
the live. I thought you said life, like L-I-F-E. I'm like, we had a great life. I'm like, is one of us leaving? I don't know. I'm not sure. If I'm going, you better like really, improve the mediumship skills so that I can chat with you, just saying. But
yeah, you're not going anywhere.
No,
and
I don't think
it's already established. I'm gonna go before you anyway. So,
I wonder if couples actually have that conversation, like who's going before who? Because I tell Elix I'm going before him. He tells me he's going before me, and even though we do have something I say all the time, if he does. Which I don't know if I should say, but if he does go...
no, you shouldn't be saying that on the radio. So please, can you please, Mark,
I just say...
Mute him, please.
I know, I'm not going to say it, but I just say I will be along very shortly. Just saying. So that's a nice thing, right? Foolish. I mean, that's a good thing. But listen, we're foolish about talking about it because we're not going anywhere. So, but I'm just excited that I get to do Through the Static and just to get to share, what I do as a medium. But I do have a story.
I can't. Oh, please. There's plenty. I just remember there's stuff I gotta talk to you people about. One of our new members of our zoo, Tom the Turkey. Are you gonna talk about that? Because honestly,
I wasn't.
Oh my God, people. Lord. I don't even know how I deal with this. So we have a lone turkey, which, by the way, during this time of a year, it's not uncommon. But, of course, Steven is freaking out that he's lonely, that he shouldn't be alone. Like, His friends rejected him, and oh my God, is he gonna be okay? Blah blah blah, all of this stuff. And this turkey thinks that our home is his home, and he was just laying down on the grass in front of our house, and he walks around and like very nonchalant, whether we're out or not out, and he just walks. Of course, because we feed the dogs and all the animals, the birds, and the dogs in the pond. He's eating the bird seed and all of that stuff. And yesterday, as a matter of fact, Stephen and I were planning to go out to dinner, and it was around 5 p.m. and the turkey is literally in our front yard. And Stephen, with a and I'm not kidding you, people. If you think this is a joke, it's not. He literally says, I think we should just do something else. We should not go out and disturb the turkey. I'm like, yeah, so what's next? Should we move to a different home? I mean,
wait a minute, Elix, I did say we could just walk because I thought the car, because where he was laying was right next to the garage, so that the car would, cause him to get all riled up. Yeah. But I right before we left, I took our dog Django outside, and I'm just waiting for him to do his business, and I'm on the side of the house, and honest to God, I hear. I'm like, okay, he's here, but where is he? And so then I like sort of went to the front of the house and I peeked, and I took a picture of this. So if you're on social media, either tonight or tomorrow, I'll post it. It was something I've never seen. He is like our dog on the front lawn, like not standing, laying down. I've never seen a turkey just laying there.
Yeah, well, he was laying there, and again, we almost had to cancel our plans because, God forbid, Stephen, we have to get out of our home. This is a reminder of you people remember last year when the birds, nested in one of our front pots. He literally almost put a yellow line. Do not. What is it? What does it say? Do not cross.
Yeah, warning, caution. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we can't. And he did literally. Nobody could come in through the stairs.
No, Ava Milagros, Elix's cousin, stayed with us, so she was staying in the in-law apartment, and the in-law apartment door is where the wreath was and where the bird had the nest. So she was coming, and, the in-law is the easiest place to get into our house, right? It's like 3 steps, and then it's the basement level. So I texted her and said, when you get here, I'll come help you with your luggage. And she's like, no, I can bring it in. I'm like, no, because I got to bring it up the front steps. And she's like, oh, I can't go through the in-law apartment. And then, I just said, no, I'll tell you when you get here. So I did. Yeah. I went out and carried it up the stairs and then back down the stairs into the in-law apartment because I could not. The little babies were there. I would have been traumatized if I opened that door and those babies, before they were ready, flew out. You just put me in a home.
Because clearly Mother Nature didn't know what to do before Stephen the Medium came into this world.
They picked.
That's what I said. But also, just so that you know, not only did the birds had a nest in that in-law apartment entrance, but they also had a nest upstairs by the main entrance. So I'm thinking to myself, if we get birds on both entrances, we literally will have to move to a new home. Because there's no way nobody could come to the house and disturb the birds while they're in their nest.
Hey, listen, 32 years, that's who I am, right? I can't help it. And then when I was like this anyway, and then when I found out I was a medium, it was so much more exaggerated. But Elix, before we take a break and come back, I just want to tell this really quick story that's never happened to me. And you don't even know about this because it just happened. So I do what's called Whispers in a Note. So if you don't know what it is, go on my website. You can check it out. But primarily, it's you request a note from somebody in spirit. They come to me, they tell me what to dictate, and then I do a video. It's a really cool service. And I send the note plus me recording and explaining the note, so it's really great. So today, I always open Whispers in a Note on Fridays. So I had two open that I always do, and both were booked, as they usually always are. And I started the first one, and it was a woman that was asking for her cousin to come through. So I start doing the note, and I'm writing it, and she's standing next to me. And I don't remember readings, but I do remember if I have a lot of repeat customers. So if someone comes in and say their grandmother in another reading came through before, when she comes back again, I usually generally can feel that, okay, I know she's been here before, in spirit, that is. I don't remember the readings. I don't even remember people usually. But I remember spirit. So when I start doing it, and I'm doing the cousin, and she's a woman, I am writing what she's telling me. And, part of a whisper and a note is that you can submit a picture also. So she did submit, the cousin that requested the note submitted a picture, but the picture it wasn't opening. So I emailed her and said, if you want the picture to be included, can you just send it to me in a JPG via my email? So before that happened, so I do the note, and as I am 2 minutes into the note, I realize that she, in spirit, comes over to me, puts her arm around me, and said, "The last time you read me, I wasn't here." And I thought, "What do you mean you weren't here?" And then I realized the last time I read her, she was in a Zoom call, and I started, as I'm writing the note, I'm starting to figure out, and about maybe, I don't know, halfway through the note, I figure out who it is. And it was, I did the recording, and at the end of the recording, I broke down in the recording. I've never done that before, because in these readings, one of the things that happens with me as a medium is that I get to feel and experience the relationships that, even when people are in spirit, but when they were here in the physical world. So it's like I get like a mini reunion of everybody that someone knew that's now dead, but when they were here. So I can feel the love. I feel all of it. This, I've read her, and I don't remember the readings, and I know the couple of times she's been with her, I think her sister or sisters, I can't remember, but I just sort of fell in love with her, and I knew she was sick, and every time I read her, I just thought, no, with all this love, she's gonna get through this, like almost like she's got to get through this. And of course, the problem is I don't know, because it's not like I'm friendly with them outside of the reading part. But I didn't know clearly that she passed away. And I got to tell you, it was, even now, it's so hard to go through that sort of transition of now reading her, but now she's on the other side, where she usually is. I'm looking at her, and we're talking about her disease and her diagnosis, but it just really threw me. It was just really, really hard to see that and to feel that and to do those readings. So, I just send so much love out to the family, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful family. So I just wanted to share that.
Wow. I don't have words. Don't have
It's a
words.
lot.
That's incredible.
But you know what? I do have to say we're going to take a break. And when I come back, 508-222-1320, if you want to call and get a reading, get on, as they say, the horn, and give me a call. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Through the Static. This is Stephen the Medium, your host. And with me is a very handsome, guapo co-host.
In failing health, that is today, but here nevertheless, Coach Elix. It's here.
I was going to make sure you were still living, so just saying. So
I'm
if
here.
if you do want a reading, just call me 508-222-1320. I said to Elix on the break that I didn't have enough time in the first segment to follow this up, but the story I just explained, and the cousin requested, her cousin to come through. The second whisper in a note was the woman who died, her sister, that requested a note from her. So it was definitely a double hit. I mean, just doing both whispers for the same woman who's, I mean, she didn't go anywhere. I finished the first whisper and then I just, went to the second, and it was the same spirit. So it was, you know what, Elix, it reminds me, do you remember a couple of years ago when, maybe 3-4 years ago, when I was still doing juvenile court and representing kids, and one of the kids I was representing got killed? The 17-year-old.
Yes. Of course.
I mean, that, listen, I represented kids for 20 years, and knock on wood, luckily, as far as I know, nothing ever happened, especially as minors. I mean, it could have happened once, 20 years, these kids become adults, and whatever happens, I get it. But I had never had someone I was representing pass away, and I actually wasn't representing him. I had just we just resolved the CRA, the case, which was a great thing because he was doing so much better. And I think it was in the month afterwards that I went to court for something else, and one of the probation officers came up to me and said, "Stephen, did you hear about blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "No." And then he told me that just wrong place, wrong time, and that this 17-year-old was shot. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's that is tough. Yes,
it is. It's very tough. And this, for when I've been doing the mediumship stuff, I've never had a situation that happened with what just happened. So, and I haven't. I would have to definitely go back, and I'm not even sure if I could, because I do so many readings, I've got to delete recordings because the space just gets full, and then I can't keep doing Zoom and recording them and whatnot. So I delete a lot on my computer. I'm not really sure the last time, the one I just spoke about, when I did see her, but I don't feel like it was that long ago. If I had to guess, I'd probably say late summer or the fall of 2024.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just so, I don't know. Like, I don't even know how I could respond to that. I mean, I too have had losses, because you remember when I was coaching people in sober homes.
Yeah.
There were moments where I walked in and I didn't see familiar faces, and then I learned that they were past. But that's I mean, and that was hard, of course. But to just be doing a note and having them tell you in spirit that they're now in spirit. Oh, wow, Stephen.
Yeah, because really, Elix, once I realized, and she's the one that told me, and by the way, which I didn't say, is that the reason how I got it confirmed, even though she told me as I was doing the note, the first note, the cousin, and this family is just one, they're just such a beautiful family. When I emailed her and said that for some reason, it's never happened, that the way she sent the picture of her cousin, at that point I didn't know who it was. It wasn't, as I mentioned, wasn't opening. So I said, "Can you just send it to me via a JPG, and then I can just include it in the note when I send it." So she did, but when she did, this is after I wrote the note, she said, "Stephen, here's the picture. I hope you remember my cousin. She would come to you all the time for readings." And she said, "I did a reading with you because my cousin told me about you." And then, okay, thanks, Mark. And then it just got to a place of hitting me even harder because, I knew it was her, but then, that little email just sort of like, I don't know, confirmed it, and then made me have a better memory of who she was in the family, you know?
Yeah.
So it was just tough. So, but let me just go to the caller. Hi, this is Stephen.
Hi, Stephen.
Who's this?
Melanie.
What is your name again?
Melanie.
Melanie?
Yes.
Hey, mate, I love the name, Melanie.
Thank you.
It's Melanie. I don't think I've ever read anybody named Melanie. Okay, Melanie, let me ask you, is there a particular person you want to hear from? Do you want me just to open it up? It is completely up to you.
No, I guess just whatever you feel.
Okay, so let me just see exactly what I feel. There's a lot of people stepping forward, Melanie, and I'm telling them one at a time. Okay, so Melanie, there's a male, a young male stepping forward. Did you or somebody close to you like lose a brother, a brother-in-law, or a son, or something like that?
Yes.
Is this yours, or is it someone close to you? I just need to know who it is.
Yeah.
Not a name,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's a brother-in-law.
brother-in-law. So he smiled at me and said, Melanie would not think I'd be first to step forward if you open this up, just saying. But he's just wanted to make sure that you know that he's here, but there's also a dad energy. Is your father in spirit or here?
He is in spirit.
So your father is stepping forward also. Your father feels like he's got a lot to say, but then Melanie, there's a mother energy, but your mom's here, right?
Correct.
Living.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so because I didn't think it was your mother's energy, but it feels like then probably a grandmother. And you're okay. Wait a minute. So brother-in-law's chatting. Your father's already also chatting. What's the two? Do you have two kids?
I do, yes.
So Dad's just given that as a validation that he knows about that. Let me ask you something, Melanie. Your father gives me the symbol being distant. So that either means he's been dead, like he died a long time, like 10 years or plus, or did he live geographically away or relationship-wise? Was he away?
Yeah, he passed away. It's probably been about over 20 years now.
Oh, that's it. So I never can tell why it is, but now I got it. And I'll tell you, he just keep saying that he wished. I mean, I know it's been a while, but he wished he had more time, especially to give guidance to you. Were you close to him?
I was, yes.
I'm asking that because it feels like when I tune into him, I can feel your heart with him, which generally usually means that there was a really closeness to him. And your dad just said, that's my baby you're talking to. And that I'm so glad. Oh, he made you call.
He did.
What do you mean he did?
Yeah, he did. Yep.
You know that. I love that.
Yes.
I don't know if you were hesitant, but he was like, "Honey, you're calling because
yes.
I got stuff to say to you." So he was he cremated?
No.
Okay, so Melanie, all right? So he keeps showing me like a necklace or a pendant. Is there, when they show me something around the neck, it means either they're talking about something like a necklace or a pendant that you'd wear around the neck, or I know it's kind of crazy, but it also represents somebody cremated. So was your brother-in-law cremated?
I'm not sure, possibly.
And you don't wear a specific like necklace with a cross or anything like that?
I don't know, but I was thinking about buying one just a few days ago.
You mean a necklace?
Yeah, with a cross.
I love that your dad's bringing that up, Milani, just to say, honey, when you were thinking about it, and your father says, tell my daughter, I'm not telling her to go buy it. I'm just telling her that when she thought about it, I was standing right next to her, and that it's just you don't. Your father's funny because he said, I love that Steven's giving me these giving you validations, but he looks at me, he's very funny, and sort of like waves his hand and was like, yeah, you don't need him. I'm with you all the time, right? But I love that he gets to validate that and just how much this man loves you. It feels, Melani, as if I know you said this is a long time. It feels like he left yesterday, and I say that because of your energy. It feels like there's parts of you that just feel like that's impossible for it to be that long period of time. And he also keeps talking about the relationship you've got. Are you in a relationship?
No.
He just said, well, let me just say this, Milani. He just said he's helped you. How do I say this? He said, I've helped my daughter. Not that she needed a lot of help, but I helped her to look in the mirror and see to see through the filters and see what a beautiful, deserving, loving soul she is. So your dad just said over the past couple of years, Melani, you are definitely different.
Yeah, that's
You,
true.
you're a whole different, because your father just said, "Oh,
Absolutely.
my baby's transformed. She's not the same in such a great way. She's like the best version of Melani." And he's crying and said, I would only come back here on this earth if I had the same daughter here." And by the way, you have two kids. Is it a boy and a girl?
Two girls.
So where's the boy come in?
Oh,
Did,
I do. I have a boy and a girl in spirit.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? You lost two?
Yes.
Wow. Oh my God. That's what Milani. Wow. So your son and daughter
Yes.
in spirit, they're here. I love that your dad is smiling, and he was like, she's being coy, right? That she's really connected, and she's not really saying much. And I'm like, I love that. But your son and daughter are here too, and everyone's just talking about what an incredible mom and soul you are. And by the way, because I got to take a break, Milani, so I got to let you go. But your dad just said, "Honey, hold on, because this year just gets better and better and better." And believe that. So, Milani, I'm going to leave you with that. Lots of love to you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Okay?
Thank you so much, Stephen. You're amazing.
Milani, thank you, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Through the Static. This is your host, Stephen the Medium. Somewhere looming, I have a co-host, Coach
I'm here.
Elix. Oh, you are
Coach
here.
Elix is right here.
Coach Elix is right here. And you know what? Getting off the Melani call, which was amazing, I will go to the next caller. Hi, this is Stephen. Who's this?
This is Bernie.
Hello? Wow,
Hello?
am I echoing?
I don't know.
Somebody must have their. Oh, I'm echoing too.
If whoever is on the phone, if you shut the radio off. Hello?
Hello?
Mark, I think we better disconnect this. Hello?
Was it me?
Mark? Mark Clark?
Hey, was it me?
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, but I took it
Mark,
off
you should
speaker.
disconnect it. We keep asking,
I can hear-
but he's not doing it, so...
Yeah, I hope it's not me. I hear a woman's voice. It's
Yeah, so
very faint.
I think you need to disconnect it, because I keep echoing. Hello?
Hello?
Okay.
They're not going to give up.
You just did.
What was that? Mark, the
They're not gonna
echo's still
quit.
here. Yeah, look, you hear
Me.
it, right?
Yes.
It's me.
Technical difficulties.
Spirit. Technical difficulties when Spirit is in the house.
Mark?
Bernie.
I don't know.
This is the worst thing, is to talk and then to hear the echo.
It's like we're hearing each other twice. I think we just got fixed.
We did? Yes,
Yes.
the call's gone.
Oh, no more. No more
Thank
echo.
God,
That's
Mark
horrible.
Clark.
Yes.
Lord. I don't know if the phone...
I don't know. Maybe there's another call. Maybe
Mark?
there isn't, and you and I will continue.
Well, listen, we can just... Thank you, Mark.
Talk amongst yourselves.
But you know what, Elix, what we were talking about earlier about the whole situation with the whisper and a note and whatnot, do you remember when you were working in the sober homes? We just talked about this with somebody, and they had me come in to do a reading for the group.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and exactly. Tracy, who was the manager at the time, who you've met, she later on passed away.
That was, hearing. I mean, I think it's. Oh, cross our fingers. Just knowing that you get to meet somebody, know somebody, but then to bring that to the spirit level and like get to read someone like I did with Tracy, and then to find out that she's no longer with us is just it's a tough thing. And like you mentioned, Elix, I know for you too. Working in the business that you do and losing somebody is, or not knowing where they are because you had that young friend.
I did. I also had, a young guy who super smart, 2 degrees, and he would show up every week for our meetings. And one week I show up and he's nowhere to be found. And when I asked, they told me he had passed away, and that's it's really hard, because you have this connection with these humans, and it's hard to separate, the business from that human connection. So.
Okay. No, Elix, I get it. So for anybody who is listening or waiting to get on, just make sure that you shut your radio off so you can't hear anything, so we don't have any issues, and we'll be good. So let's go to the next caller, Mark. Hi, this is Stephen. Who's this? Hello?
Bernie.
Bernie, how are you?
I'm good. I was just on. That was me.
Leave it to Bernie.
It's the spirits, brother.
All that energy causing issues, Bernie.
All right,
listen,
I got to ask you, did either of you have beef brisket? Because I had a dream about beef brisket, and here I am talking to you.
Well, I don't eat meat, so I'm off the table, literally, but I don't know about Elix.
Well, I mean, when would I have beef brisket, Stephen, if I live with you and I don't make it for you?
Well, maybe in a restaurant or so. I don't know. I'm just trying to help my buddy Bernie.
Yeah.
So
You want
Bernie,
to hear a good one?
yes.
All right. So I studied at Maureen Hancock University the first Monday of every month,
Yes.
and we read a couple people. I had in my dream the guy who's going for the goalie position against Ron in the Goblet of Fire, McLagan's his name. So from his hockey, I take it as a hockey glove. So I say and he catches a fly with a pair of chopsticks. Okay.
That's
so I'm
something.
going for Chinese. Did you guys like? So finally, it was John Lacrosse, that retired state police lieutenant.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it's him we're reading, and it turned out his friend was on the hockey team with them. He was the goalie, and he was Scottish, and he had a black belt in Taekwondo.
I know John. John is such a nice guy.
Yeah.
But that's what, isn't it the greatest, Bernie, when you're going through and doing those readings and you ultimately find out the validations and that you connect. I mean, I know you connect to spirit, but it's still really nice to hear and get those validations, especially when someone gives that to you. So it's
I got to say that when I work with somebody like you or Maureen, I get the Scottish goalie hockey player, or I get David. Can you take a David who's 30? Or can you take 93? Right? And because I think your spirits are lined up waiting to give you a message.
It's interesting. It's interesting, not to interrupt you, Bernie, but it's interesting. 93 is when Elix and I met, but David was my best friend when he took his life. So I am sure that's a beautiful thing. And his anniversary is coming up May 18th, which will be 27 years or so. So thank you.
Wicked chill. Are you feeling the chills right now?
I listen. When I'm doing this, they're constant, Bernie. But I love the validation because.
Well, let me tell you how I got David. Right, it's all connected, Stephen. I dreamed that I'm table tipping at Onset Spiritualist Church, and with this guy, and I can tell he's about 30 years old. He has like sort of a regular men's haircut, and he's wearing like a polo shirt and slacks, and I don't know his name at this point. I'm having a hard time getting names. So then later on in my dream, I drive to Quincy, and Maureen Hancock in my dream had opened some spiritual place. And I go in there, and she goes, Dave's back. And that's how I got the name Dave, from Maureen Hancock in my dream.
And this was last night?
No, this was way back. These dreams, you could have a dream a year ago, and for some reason, you'll be talking to you, Stephen, and you'll know it's for you. But with the David one, I had given that to you on your radio show before.
I did not remember that.
Right. Well, I called you up, and you were kind of stunned. And I go, can you take a David that's like 30? I had a friend, David. Remember we had Chupacabra? I don't know if it's I said to her, I don't know if it's a hamster or a Chupacabra or whatever. And you said I was petting a Chupacabra last year.
I have a picture of that, Bernie. That was we were in Costa Rica, and I actually we were doing Right Elix, we were doing zip lining, and everyone, when he just came out and he just walked out of nowhere, and everyone just moved like petrified, and he came right up to me, and Elix was like, "Don't pet him," and it just was automatic, and I just pet the top of his head. He looked at me, and then he kept walking. So, and I love that you. I do. I remember that. I do. You know what the cool thing is, Bernie, and I love that you're sharing your experiences, is why I love it so much is that people that are listening that are also connected or feel like they're connected, it's so great for them to hear, oh my God, what you can get stuff in dreams and how it works and how you just explain how you connected, at first the guy and then through Maureen Hancock and the dream, David. I love that.
When I first met you, you brought through a David.
I don't remember that. Were you connected to a David?
You were at the Rehoboth Church, the Brockton Spiritualist Church, and you were in the audience, and the medium didn't show up that day, and so you jumped up with readings. And I had this kid, David, that had passed, the young guy, and you brought him through. And then I went outside and I told you I was friends with Maureen Hancock and stuff. And then I started having dreams about you and stuff.
Wow.
Your people. Like I had a dream that Susan was baking a birthday cake. And then I went to your show, and Elix was there, and of course you're talking to all the people, and I say to Elix, I go, Elix, can you take a Susan? And the Elix goes, this man right here, he's connected to the other side.
Oh, Bertie, that's that's too funny. Listen, and I also have to thank you so much because I as a medium, as you know, and you just do the same thing. It's always giving out and doing readings, which I love. But, it's nice to get validations back, which I never really get, right? Because I never set up a meeting with a medium or so. So thank you. And as a reminder, it's so cool that at this point you bring up David in just in 3 weeks is his anniversary. And just recently I said to Elix,
I wish I could remember the numbers. I had table tip with them at the church, like in my dream at the church, and I got a number. And Colleen got a little, was it a 6? Something. She got nervous about the number. In my dreams, I've had them since I was a kid. Like I had little old ladies living in the basement when I was a kid, telling my mother about them.
Wow. So your connection goes way back. And listen, I would love. Listen, you ate up all my time. I can't even do a reading because I got to take a break. Bernie, listen. Right. Thank you for giving a shout out. And we always love hearing from you. And lots of love to you.
Bye, Bernie.
I hope you're using your scrying school. Nice to hear from you, Elix.
Thank you. You have a great day, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Through the Static. This is Stephen the Medium, your host, with my co-host,
Coach Elix.
Coach Elix is here, and big shout out back to Bernie. We Elix and I love that guy, love him, and thank you, Bernie, for calling. Let me go to the next caller. Hi, this is Stephen. Oh Lord, hello.
Hi, Stephen. It's Karen.
You have to shut the radio off, or whatever is on.
It's not on. Nothing's on.
Hello.
Nothing is on.
Mark.
Go to
Mark
the next
Clark.
call.
More technical difficulties.
Mark, can you go to the next caller?
Hello?
Oh, that's what that
Hello?
is.
Hello?
Next caller. Hi, this is
Hello?
Stephen. Who's this?
Hi,
Hi. Who's this?
it's Kim.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm very well. How about yourself?
I'm good, Kim. So is there any particular person you want to hear from, or do you want me to open this up? It is completely up to you, Kim.
I would like you to open it up.
Well, I love that too. All right. So Kim. Okay. So where's the dad energy? Is your father here or in spirit?
In spirit.
Oh, well, that's where I guess where the dad energy is, because your father stepped forward. Kim, do you somehow connect to like an Alaskan cruise?
No.
So nobody connected to you, like you want to go, like siblings, friends. Your father keeps showing me penguins, and I've never seen this before in spirit. So there's nobody, like, I don't know.
My father went to Alaska.
Well, no wonder why he's showing me penguins. So it's such a great way, Kim, to let you know that it's really him. That's how this works. So, and he just said, tell my daughter I'm still with the penguins, I guess, if you will. So he's got a lot to say, Kim. But let me ask you, where's the mother? Is it a grandmother stepping forward, or is your mother here?
My mother's here.
Do you have a mother-in-law or ex-mother-in-law in spirit?
I never met her.
No, and you didn't have to meet her, but she's dead.
Yeah.
Is it current, or is it like an ex?
It's current, but the death was like 35 years ago.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you, Kim, that when you just said it was like 35 years ago, I just heard her say, "Excuse me, honey." She knows everything about you. You may not know her, but she just said to me, I know it's weird for Kim to hear this, but I have been waiting for a long time to let her know I'm here. I'm always watching her, and I so miss not having that daughter-in-law, if you will, sort of connection. She's bringing up your wedding, and keeps talking about something about a ring. Did you remember anything with, I don't know if this is your side or his side, was there a ring that was passed down?
Not to me.
Well, it doesn't have to be to you, but is there someone's bringing it up for a reason? Just like a sister or somebody else have a ring?
I don't know. I mean, I have 4 sister-in-laws. They may have gotten it.
Okay, it's definitely she just said, no, I'm not talking about my daughters. I'm talking about Kim. Are we not talking about Kim? I'm like, yes, we are. She's talking about your engagement or wedding ring. Did you ever change it, Kim?
So my wedding ring broke, and I haven't worn one since.
Oh, that's the change then. Because I knew it wasn't what your mother-in-law was saying is it wasn't the same as it used to be. I thought you just maybe enhanced it or something so that it broke and you're not wearing it. That's why she's bringing it up. But I love that even though, you went to her daughters, she was like, no, honey, this is all about Kim. I want her to know I'm here, and she's talking about your husband, I guess, if you will. She's talking about 2. You have 2 kids?
No, I only have one.
Does does your husband have like one sibling or two siblings?
He has 4.
Okay, so that's not it then. Why, and you didn't lose a child, Kim? Like a
I did
miscarriage or
not.
anything like that?
I did not. Is there anybody else coming through?
Listen, you said open it up, so I'm opening it up, and you should have asked me if you wanted someone else to come through, honey. So tell me, who else do you want?
My brother?
Okay. So, it's very interesting when you just said my brother, because he's the one that wanted to make sure your mother-in-law stepped forward. He didn't want you to feel, he loves you, didn't want you to feel like it's just people you know that are watching you and love you, but he's here now. He went fast, right? Or unexpected?
Yes.
Because he just said, Stephen, I was here and then I was there. And he also just said, this is so emotional, even for me. I don't know why he keeps talking about the B name, like Bobby or Brian. Or Barbara? Who's the B name connected that he's talking about?
I don't know.
So just keep it with you. It could be a first, middle, last name. But he also just keeps saying, I hate that my sister has sort of taken this on or something. Let me ask you something, Kim. Do you still like have a hard time understanding what happened?
Yes.
Oh, that's what he's talking about. Because he was like, honey, like Kim, the first and foremost, he doesn't like talking about how this happened. He just said to me, I don't like it because my sister's always there with this. And she's stuck on there. And he just said, there's nothing that you could have done, changed. Nothing is going to change what happened. So, Kim, today I want you to leave that, to let that go and know that I'm with you all the time, because he said the best way to explain this to you, honey, is the more you hold on to it, the less likely you get to see signs from him. And he's like, oh, that hit the nail on the head, because she's complaining she doesn't get signs from me, she doesn't feel me. You have to say that. You have to, because he's watching you and he's with you, Kim. And he was like, and my God, Stephen, I sent her over and over, like an abundant amount of signs. And he was like, oh, Jesus, here she goes again. But Kim, I'll tell you something that hopefully you absorb, is that when we're stuck with something that's in the past, or we haven't let it go, like, why did this happen? I need explanations. I'm telling you, if you're stuck in the past and not in the present, all those amazing, beautiful signs that will make you feel so much better. You'll be crying, but crying in a good way. Like, oh my, like, thank you. And by the way, who's Danny?
Danny's one of my best friends.
He just yelled, hi, Danny. So just make sure you know that will make you feel so much better. Just when your brother just said, honey, when you're sad or when you're feeling you want those questions, just breathe in, let it go, and say, I'm in the present, and watch the signs. That boy, your brother, loves anything outside. If there's a bird, dragonfly, butterfly, that boy, he sends it to you, and he's been doing that. But you know what, Kim? He also said he gives you coins all the time. You don't find random coins around?
No.
That's because you're in the past. I guarantee you're going to email me saying, Stephen, dear God, how do I stop the coins now? He's out of control. Once you let that go and you know that he's with you, it's done, and he just is loving you from where he is right now. And that's what he wants, Kim. It's so hard for him to see he's sending all these signs and it's not penetrating. You're not seeing them. All he wants to do is the signs are a big hug, his arms around you, and how much he loves you, Kim. You know what? You can go back to WARA or my Facebook page or WARA's YouTube channel and listen back to this to make sure you absorb this. And I guarantee you're going to feel so much better. And unfortunately, the show's ending in 2 minutes. I got to let you go. Thank you, Kim, for calling in.
Thank you, Steve. Hi, Elix.
Thank you.
Listen, lots of love to you, Kim. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Same to you guys.
Thank you. Just wonderful people calling Elix. So tell everyone how they can find you, because we're pressed for time.
They can find me at Coach Elix anywhere on social media.
That's beautiful. And you can find me under Stephen the Medium. StephenTheMedium.com is where you can go to book appointments, book a whisper in a note, and also see the courses I give or offer, as well as where I will be in bigger or larger groups also. So I thank Elix for being here when he's not feeling 100%, and Mark Clark, whose show is next. Stay tuned for Mark's Jukebox, because it is a really, really cool 2 hours of listening to songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And as always, just a big shout out to Jim and the crew over at WARA that all certainly make this possible, including Mark. So I will be back in a month, the last Friday of the month. But next week, we will be back with Elix's show, where he's the host, I'm the co-host. Get a grip with Coach Elix. So with that said, have the best day, Friday, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Lots of love to all of you, and I say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.